Welcome to the Steve Reeve Podcast with the best moments from the past week and a few things that didn't make it to air. Monday.
All right, we got to get to it. There's too many new TV series seasons coming in 2026. Too many. I mean, choice is a good thing, but it's overwhelming. His and Hers with Tessa Thompson and John Bernthal is going to be a brand new one starting on Netflix in a week. The latest Game of Thrones spinoff, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, starts January 18th. Also, House of the Dragon Season 3, set to arrive later this year. Bridgerton Season 4 at the end of the month. Later down the line, Season 2 of the live-action One Piece. Season 2 of the live-action Avatar The Last Airbender. Peaky Blinders, The Immortal Man, picks up the new series a few years later than what we last saw. Euphoria Season 3 is back after 3 years in April. Lanterns gives us more live-action DCU to chew on the Marvel side. We get Wonder Man, Vision Quest, Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again, and X-Men 97. Oh, and 2 Spider-Man show seasons. You got Season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and the start of Spider-Noir. Some Star Wars shows are coming. Some Star Trek shows are coming. The final season of The Boys isn't too far away. A Blade Runner 2049 sequel is on the list. Apple's got Season 2 of Monarch Legacy of Monsters and Season 3 of Silo. Malcolm in the Middle is coming back with a reboot. The Bear gets Season 5 already. They know how to put out seasons in quick succession. Thank you very much. And then you got Scrubs back with Season 10 later on. Dexter's back again. And for good measure, an animated Stranger Things spinoff is coming, and while it's not directly related to the Duffer Brothers, producing a show called The Burrows that shares some hallmarks with the show that just wrapped up. I ran out of music. That's how many shows there are. You know what? That's enough. Not done the list by a mile. There's so many more. I think the point has been made.
It's time for Cruz Music News with Steve Reeve.
Big old congratulations going out to newly engaged couple Dove Cameron, singer, songwriter, and actor, former Disney Channel alum, and the front man, or I guess one of the front people of Måneskin, Damiano David. They've been dating for about 2 years, and they've just made it big old public that there's a ring on it. Depeche Mode making an official announcement about their concert film at long last. They did say that it was in the works as of last April. They had compiled all the footage from shows in Mexico City on their Memento Mori tour, playing over 3 nights, sold out to a total of over 200,000 fans. M is the title of the live film, and it's going to be arriving on Netflix as of this week. And Barry Manilow sharing an update on his cancer diagnosis. However, it looks like prognosis is best case scenario, or pretty close to. He shared last month that he would have to have surgery because a cancerous spot was found, and basically by chance, as he had bronchitis and was having testing done and MRI done because of that, and they found a shadow. He says that it has been found early enough that it's likely he will not need chemotherapy or radiation and will have other interventions. So hopefully good news for the classic crooner. That's it for your music news this morning. I'm Steve Reeve.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
Annoying phrases. What is overused, what completely hit the limit in 2025 and needs to be gone for 2026. LSSU, the Lake Superior University, State University, down in the United States. They've been doing this since 1974. Over 50 years of picking the most overused phrases and words. They've got a list of 10. In 2026, you better not be caught saying 6'7". That is number 1 on the list, and I can understand why. Demure, they say, is on there. They say the meaning has kind of been mixed around, and now it just means if you're doing kind of well, but you're kind of staying classy about it on the internet, instead of maybe being demure enough to not even be on the internet in the first place. Cooked, as in you're cooked. You're massively cooked. Oh, wait, that's the next word. Massive. Apparently, we've been using that one too much. This is one I fully agree with. Incentivize. And the question is, what's wrong with the word motivate? Less syllables. It says it faster. Now we got perfect. Gift as a verb, as in like, I gifted somebody something. My bad, which 90s kids are never going to be able to let go of. Reach out, as in like the emotional support way. You reach out to me, or make sure that you reach out to your friends. People are saying it's just overused. I don't know about that one so much. And another one that's never going to stop in our household is full stop. The phrase full stop at the end of a sentence, I guess it gets on people's nerves. I don't know. I don't think it's that common here in North America, or at least it wasn't, because I'd never heard it until I heard it from my girlfriend who's from New Zealand, where it is a very common way to end a phrase and add a kind of a little bit of a conversational punctuation. So, full stop, we're probably not getting rid of full stop. But what phrases should we be getting rid of that aren't on the list? Let me know. One phrase that annoys me has a specific reason why it annoys me. The phrase crash out has become a big new meaning for what freak out really means. It's got the same meaning as freak out. Somebody's having a big explosion of emotion and frustration, sometimes fully justified, like mom not getting any gifts at Christmas despite making the holidays for everyone else. Sometimes fully not justified, like, those videos you see of people breaking TVs because their team lost. Maybe not quite worth it, but the meaning in my head for crash out is not having a big explosion. It's being exhausted. It's being so tired that you just have to pass out on whatever half-comfortable surface you have available. A fusion of crash, meaning sleeping where you usually don't. Hey, can I crash on your couch this weekend? And pass out. That, third piece of lasagna has me about to pass out. That is my meaning, and it will be with me for the rest of my days.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
Tuesday.
There has been an article released by Vice that lists the top 25 items that we got, stuck inside of us over the last 12 months in 2025. Things in butts. Okay, there's some weirdness. I'm not going to get into the full list. I mean, there's some stuff that gets a little graphic. But for instance, stuff that you'd go, huh? Like a baseball, a corn cob holder, a turkey baster, a wine stopper, eyeglasses? Eyeglasses. I don't, 2 pencils. Sounds better than a vape pen, a flashlight, a film canister. I have to imagine it's the little guys, like the Kodak film from yore, not like the film canisters I think of because I used to work at a movie theater before all movies became digital. That's not possible. Anyway, a rectangular travel toothbrush, an egg, a sandal, a light bulb. Okay, just stop there. Don't do that one whatsoever. Don't do any of this. It's not recommended at all. And I mean, it's not even about making people feel bad. It's not about shame. It's about safety. There is absolutely an argument to be made for safety as well as the heads up. I mean, this is stuff that's lasting on the internet forever. Peer-reviewed journals being published with this information. Maybe not with the names attached, but just saying. This is something that stays on a sort of permanent record. And I don't know if that's the heat that you'd be wanting, all right? So maybe just give it some extra thought if the temptation arrives. Here's Tea Party with Temptation. What is it with these song titles? To start off, the date has been decided for Record Store Day 2026. It'll be the 19th edition of the day that puts a focus on independent and local record stores. It's going to have some local love here in town, but the date itself, which will be observed by hundreds of record stores, not just in Canada or North America, but also in the UK and around the world, on Saturday, April 18th. John Paul Jones of Led Zeppelin fame is auctioning off a bunch of equipment. He says it's really because he still is very active musically with writing and recording and even performing, but just doesn't need so much studio equipment anymore. And so some of it's going up for auctions, including one piece of equipment that's not even functional anymore. An amp that was blown after being left at Dave Grohl's house. Of course, they teamed up for Those Crooked Vultures project back in the day, and I imagine it was probably at about that time, and it's no wonder to me why that amp is gone at this point, being left in the care of Dave Grohl. Dave Mustaine is in the news because they're going to be doing their final farewell, the Megadeth crew, but not every member that has graced the stage with Megadeth is going to be invited back. Dave Mustaine saying it's a lot of people. It would be a huge undertaking, and he likens it to a Muppet gathering. He says it's not a puppet show Megadeth, it's just Megadeth saying farewell. He's always been a bit of a hard A anyway, so that absolutely tracks. And that's it for your music news this morning. Ian McKellen has arrived. Again, he's getting up there in age for sure, but I'm very excited to see him on the big screen once again. We got 2 opportunities coming. As anticipated, he has officially shown up in the next teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday, the X-Men associated trailer has arrived this morning, locking in the return of his version of Magneto alongside Patrick Stewart's Professor Xavier. We also got a look at comic-accurate Cyclops, played by, again, James Marsden. But also, Ian McKellen has announced that there's this confirmed Lord of the Rings movie that is going to be coming out, the spin-off called The Hunt for Gollum. I think it's a bit of a prequel. It's going to feature Gandalf as well as Frodo, Ian McKellen says. The return of Elijah Wood? Just maybe? Gollum himself, Andy Serkis, is directing this one. They're going to start filming in May, so don't hold your breath. It's going to be a while before that one comes out.
Wednesday.
I noticed last night a couple of very tiny little single strands of web at the top of the tree while de-Christmasing it. Had that immediate sinking feeling going, But then, immediately also remembered there are already spiders in our building because there are spiders in literally every building. That's what you get with a real tree. And don't feel too comfortable, artificial tree people. If you think the household spiders didn't see a tree appear in your place and say jackpot, whether plastic or not, you might be lying to yourself. Hope you taped up the tree box real tight. I don't know why I'm trying to scare you. It'll be fine.
You're listening to the Steve Reeve Podcast from 100.5 Cruz FM.
Ron Wood of Rolling Stones fame was just on social media recently explaining some stuff from his early career days, things we weren't quite so aware of. I mean, he's 78 years old. He's seen a lot. He began working with Jeff Beck way back in 1967 with the Yardbirds coming to a close, the Jeff Beck group just opening up, just starting, and Ronnie Wood saying that it was Jeff Beck who suggested, that he take up the bass and put his focus into that kind of guitar, and also how he kind of put them in touch, him and Jimi Hendrix, also adding that they used to share a flat for a little while during the early days of both of their respective careers, both becoming big fans of each other. That sounds like a wild time. If we could time machine back to that, get a little taste of it, why not? Speaking of time machine, Stranger Things being a tribute to, an ode to the 80s, a love letter to it, and the music from the era as well. Iron Maiden was utilized in the very final episode, and they are loving it, saying Eddie finally got his moment. The Trooper being the song, which is an absolute banger and has some very, very cool real-life history inspiration behind it. I'll get off of the soapbox. Deftones. Not specifically the band, but the person featured on the cover of their Around the Fur album making a statement. She says that it wasn't a groupie situation. That the person who was who was the subject of the photo, covered in sweat, looking like they're enjoying themselves in whatever concert setting they were at, and she just says that it's just her having a kick-ass time, and in her own words, I'm just this awesome chick from Auburn, and I like to have fun. No groupie action happening there. Very interesting. Lisa Hughes is her name, and the photographer, Rick Kosick, making that an absolutely iconic cover. That's it for your music news this morning. I'm Steve Reeve. Very much looking forward to it. She hails from New Zealand, and we are getting ready and making sure that we've bought what we need to buy, and we've crossed the T's and dotted the I's for the important things that we need to get figured out for a trip to tour around New Zealand. Hiking shoes, for sure. Found a great deal. It's nice when you're able to think that far ahead instead of realizing, we should probably get that like the day before. Not that I've got stories like that, but a travel visa, of course, got to get figured out for some locations. Power adapter necessary. Lord of the Rings extended editions on 4K Blu-ray. The essentials.
Transmission over. Want more Steve? New podcast episodes happen every Friday, or just tune into the Steve Reeve Show. Weekday mornings starting at 5:30 a.m. on 100.5 Cruz FM.